This is it. Let me give you one piece of advice. Be honest. He knows more than you could imagine. Coming in at number 50, The Departed. Scorsese movie, 8.5 IMDb. The Departed is a gritty, high stakes crime thriller set in Boston. It follows two men leading dangerous double lives on opposite sides of the law. One is a young police officer who goes undercover to infiltrate a powerful crime syndicate. The other is a member of that crime syndicate who has secretly embedded himself inside the police force. As both men dig deeper into their false identities, the pressure intensifies. Each one tries to uncover the other's identity before being discovered himself. The closer they get to the truth, the more their lives and the lives of those around them spiral into chaos. I didn't know this until just now. The Departed is a kind of a remake of a Hong Kong movie called Infernal Affairs, 2002, 8 IMDb. Number 49, He Got Game, only 6.9 IMDb. He Got Game is a powerful sports drama centered on the emotional and moral pressures surrounding a top ranked high school basketball player. Set against the backdrop of inner city life and the intense world of college recruitment, it explores what happens when talent becomes a commodity and everyone wants a piece of it. The story follows a young athlete who's on the verge of making it big, but just as the biggest decision of his life approaches, he's forced to confront complicated personal relationships, particularly with his estranged father, who unexpectedly re enters his life under tense circumstances. As we get higher and higher up the list, I can't put into words how good some of these movies are. Coming in at number 48, Cool Hand Luke, 8.0, 1967. Cool Hand Luke is a prison drama set in the American South. It follows a man who's sentenced to a chain gang after a seemingly minor crime. Rather than quietly doing his time, he becomes a symbol of defiance, resisting the system, the guards, and even his fellow inmates in quiet but powerful ways. All-time classic movie with quite a bit of symbolism in my opinion. Number 47, Traffic, 7.5 IMDb. Traffic is a sprawling, multi-layered drama that looks at the war on drugs from several interconnected perspectives. Rather than following a single storyline, it tells multiple stories across different social and geographic layers, from drug lords and street dealers to law enforcement, politicians, and families caught in the middle. Each storyline exposes how deeply embedded drugs and drug-related policies are in society and how complicated, messy, and human the whole system really is. Don't want to give anything away. I can just say this movie really shows how complicated the drug crisis really is. 46, Crash, 7.7 IMDb. Crash is a powerful drama about how strangers' lives intersect over 36 hours in Los Angeles, exposing hidden prejudices and unexpected acts of compassion. Through a series of tense emotional encounters, the film shows how fear and misunderstanding can divide people, but also how moments of connection can break those barriers. It's about the collisions, literal and emotional, that change lives forever. What I would say about Crash, haven't used the term one time in close to 700 movie rankings. It's very thought provoking. It shows how everybody is fallible by nature. Number 45, Heat, 8.3 IMDb. Heat is a tense, intelligent crime drama about the cat and mouse battle between a master thief and a relentless detective in Los Angeles. On one side, a highly disciplined crew of professional criminals led by a quiet, calculating man who lives by a strict code. On the other, a driven, obsessive police detective who's determined to catch them no matter how smart or careful they are. As both sides close in on each other, the film explores not just crime and justice, but the personal lives and sacrifices behind them. Unbelievable bank robbery scene, and it's got Pacino and De Niro going head to head. I mean, what else is there to say? I came across another movie just now called Thief, 1981, James Caan, 7.4 IMDb with, I guess, a good bank robbery scene. So, yeah. 44, Donnie Brasco, 7.7 IMDb. Donnie Brasco is a crime drama based on a true story. It follows an undercover FBI agent who infiltrates the New York Mafia by posing as a jewel thief. As he gets deeper into the organization, he forms a close bond with a low-level mobster who takes him under his wing. But as his cover holds and trust grows, the line between duty and loyalty, between the job and the life, start to blur. I can't put into words how good this movie is. Think about how crazy this is for a second. Okay, De Niro's got Jackie Brown 148, Casino 66, Goodfellas 65. Pacino, Glengarry Glen Ross 213, Scarface 142. Then he's got two in the 50s, Carlito's Way 57, Scent of a Woman 56. They're both in Heat. Just went over that. Both in The Godfather, multiple Godfather movies. And now Pacino is in Donnie Brasco at 44. Also, he's in two movies that are around 300. You Don't Know Jack and Insomnia. I did forget to add that De Niro has A Bronx Tale at 353 and Once Upon a Time in America at 146. Do you see why I have Donnie Brasco ahead of all these other movies? It's just because of Pacino and Johnny Depp is incredible in this movie. Number 43, Prisoners, 8.2 IMDb. Prisoners is a psychological thriller and crime drama that explores how far a parent is willing to go when their child goes missing. The film focuses on two families who are thrown into a desperate search for their young daughters after they vanish under mysterious circumstances. At the center is a father whose intense emotional turmoil drives him to take matters into his own hands when he feels the official investigation isn't moving fast enough. Parallel to this, a determined detective follows the official leads, uncovering disturbing layers beneath the surface of the case. The movie is intense, atmospheric, and morally complex. It delves into themes of justice, fate, desperation, and the psychological toll of trauma. Expect a slow burn suspense with powerful performances and a haunting tone throughout. All I can say, the end of the movie, goosebumps. Number 42, Apollo 13, 7.7 IMDb. Apollo 13 is a space drama based on a real NASA mission in the early 1970s. The film follows a crew of astronauts as they embark on what is meant to be a routine trip to the moon. When unexpected complications arise, the mission takes a dramatic turn, leading to intense pressure both in space and back on Earth. Rather than focusing solely on space exploration, the story delves into the human experience, exploring themes of uncertainty, adaptability, and the complex coordination between astronauts and ground control. The intensity throughout the movie is just crazy. Phenomenal, obviously. Gonna add a movie I haven't seen, The Right Stuff, 1983, Ed Harris, 7.8 IMDb. Number 41, The Count of Monte Cristo, 7.7 IMDb. The Count of Monte Cristo is a period adventure set in 19th century France. It centers on a young man whose life takes a dramatic turn after he's caught in a web of deception. What follows is a story that spans years, exploring themes of loyalty, betrayal, ambition, and fate. It's going to sound cliche, but this movie has everything. Action, drama, suspense, romance, everything. It's such a good movie. Coming in at number 40, The Wolf of Wall Street, 8.2 IMDb. In 1987, Jordan Belfort, Leo, takes an entry-level job at a Wall Street brokerage firm. By the early 1990s, while still in his 20s, Belfort founds his own firm, Stratton Oakmont. Together with his trusted lieutenant and a merry band of brokers, Belfort makes a huge fortune by defrauding wealthy investors out of millions. However, while Belfort and his cronies partake in a hedonistic brew of sex, drugs, and thrills, the SEC and the FBI close in on his empire of excess. Based on a true story, I don't think I need to talk you into watching this movie. It's Leo acting a fool for 3 hours, fascinating and hilarious. Number 39, Tombstone, 7.8 IMDb. Wyatt Earp and his brothers Morgan and Virgil have left their gunslinger ways behind them to settle down and start a business in the town of Tombstone, Arizona. While they aren't looking to find trouble, trouble soon finds them when they become targets of the ruthless cowboy gang. Now together with Wyatt's best friend Doc Holliday, the brothers pick up their guns once more to restore order to a lawless land. Captain Obvious here. Val Kilmer, Doc Holliday make this movie from great to unbelievable. 38, Seven, the movie, 8.6 IMDb. Seven is a dark thriller about two detectives investigating a series of brutal crimes linked by a disturbing pattern. As they dig deeper, they uncover unsettling truths about the person responsible. The film is intense and atmospheric, blending mystery with psychological tension, and keeps you guessing until the very end. I don't want to give anything away, but if I have to convince you to watch this movie, that's on you, not me. 37, Jurassic Park, 8.2 IMDb. Jurassic Park is about a super rich guy who builds a dinosaur theme park using real living dinosaurs cloned from ancient DNA. He invites a small group to preview it, but surprise, things go very, very wrong. Basically, it's science meets nature, and nature is not playing nice. So yeah, it's a Spielberg movie, and it's got the score composed by John Williams. I've seen the first 5. Obviously, they came out with Jurassic World Rebirth. I think it's 6.2 IMDb. Haven't seen it. I forgot that they came out with Jurassic World 2022. I need to watch these two movies. Looking forward to it. 36, Das Boot, 1981, 8.4 IMDb. A German submarine patrols the Atlantic Ocean during World War II, manned by a crew that must contend with tense conflicts and long stretches of confined boredom. While war correspondent Werner observes day-to-day life aboard the U-boat, the grizzled captain struggles to maintain his own motivation as he attempts to keep the ship's morale up in the face of fierce battles, intense storms, and dwindling supplies. This movie has an argument for best war movie ever. Enough said. Number 35, Aliens, plural, 8.4 IMDb. Alien is a science fiction horror film set in deep space following the crew of a commercial spaceship that intercepts a mysterious signal from a distant planet. When they investigate, they uncover something unknown and possibly dangerous. As the crew tries to make sense of what they've found, tension rises and survival becomes the central concern. Aliens 1 and 2 are incredible, obviously. I don't know if I've seen the third Alien. If I have, don't remember. Alien Resurrection, pretty goofy, but it still has a decent rating. Prometheus and Covenant are solid, but just really weird. Game over, man. Number 34, The Patriot, 7.2 IMDb. The Patriot is a historical war drama set during the American Revolutionary War. It centers on a reluctant veteran and widowed father who is drawn back into conflict when the war reaches his home and threatens his family. As the struggle intensifies, he's forced to balance personal loss, moral conviction, and leadership in a fight for freedom. Cinematography great, the battles are really good, the score's by John Williams, the acting is incredible. This movie doesn't get talked about much as an all-time great, but it really is an all-time great movie. Number 34, Born on the 4th of July, 7.2 IMDb. Born on the 4th of July is a film that explores the personal journey of a young American who begins with deep patriotic beliefs and a desire to serve his country. As the story progresses, his experiences dramatically alter his perspective, forcing him to confront the cost of his ideals and what it means to truly serve a cause. The film is emotionally intense and examines themes like disillusionment, transformation, and the clash between national identity and personal truth. This is a very emotional movie and a very good movie, in my opinion. Number 32, Kill Bill Volume 2, 8.0 IMDb. Kill Bill Volume 2 shifts gears from the high-octane action of the first film to a more character-driven, introspective story. It dives deeper into the emotional and psychological layers of the main character, revealing her motivations, history, and the deeper dynamics between her and the people she's confronting. It's more about resolution than revenge this time, though there's still intensity, suspense, and stylized moments. If Volume 1 was about survival and fury, Volume 2 is about reckoning and closure. I don't want to give anything away, but I'm kind of baffled that this isn't considered one of Tarantino's best movies. I mean, I know he hasn't done a ton of movies, and they're all, basically they're all really good, but this is up there, possibly top 3. Number 31, Rounders, 7.3 IMDb. Rounders is a gritty, cerebral drama centered around underground poker. It follows a gifted player who's torn between walking a straight path and returning to the high-stakes world he left behind. The film is less about flashy gambling and more about risk, loyalty, and the pull of something you're born to do, even if it comes at a cost. It's smart, tense, and full of subtle character tension with themes of temptation, redemption, and personal code. The movie seems to really capture the underground poker world, and another thing it does really good, other than great acting obviously, is it shows risk versus responsibility with the characters. It's just so freaking good. Number 30, Apocalypto, 7.8 IMDb. Apocalypto is a visceral and intense journey set in a world on the brink of profound change. It follows a young man whose life is deeply tied to his community and the natural world around him. When everything he knows is threatened, he embarks on a desperate and gripping quest for survival. The film is visually stunning and deeply immersive, capturing a raw, primal energy. It explores themes of resilience, tradition, and the clash between old ways and inevitable transformation. Without relying on dialogue, it tells a powerful story through action and emotion. Masterpiece directed by Mel Gibson, one-of-a-kind type of movie. You just have to watch it. Number 29, In Bruges, 7.9 IMDb. After a particularly difficult job, hitmen Ray, Colin Farrell, and Ken, Brendan Gleeson, head to Belgium to hide out until things cool down. Ray hates the medieval city they land in, but Ken finds its beauty and peacefulness enchanting. Their experiences become increasingly surreal and possibly life-changing as they encounter tourists, locals, an American dwarf, and a potential romance for Ray. In terms of crime/dark comedy, I don't think it gets better than this. Number 28, The Revenant, 8.0 IMDb. The Revenant is a gritty survival drama set in the 1820s American frontier. It follows a frontiersman who endures extreme hardship and betrayal in a relentless, physically demanding journey through the wilderness. The tone is raw, immersive, and often brutal, with breathtaking cinematography and a strong emphasis on nature's indifference. Leo finally won long-awaited Best Actor award with this movie. Incredible movie. Number 27, Lucky Number Slevin, 7.7 IMDb. A case of mistaken identity puts a man named Slevin, Josh Hartnett, in the middle of a war between two rival New York crime lords, the Rabbi Ben Kingsley and the boss Morgan Freeman. While under the watchful eyes of Detective Brukowski and well-known assassin Good Cat, Slevin must quickly devise a plan to save his skin before his luck runs out. I can't really say anything. I don't want to give anything away. Coming in at number 26, Predator, 7.8 IMDb. Predator is a tense action film that starts with a rescue mission in a remote jungle and slowly transforms into something much more intense and unexpected. It blends suspense, action, and mystery, keeping you unaware of what's really going on until things start to unravel. All the characters in this movie are so cool. And then Schwarzenegger, he meets his match. It's just doesn't get better than this. Number 25, Django Unchained, 8.5 IMDb. Picture a brutal stylized tale set in the pre-Civil War American South. A man who once had no freedom finds himself in an unexpected partnership with a sharp-dressed outsider who isn't from around here. This outsider isn't your typical bounty hunter. He's got charm, eloquence, and a mission. Together they hunt dangerous men, but for one of them the real mission is personal, to reunite with someone taken from him. Along the way they cross paths with twisted plantations, chillingly polite villains, and explosive encounters, all wrapped in bold visuals, biting dialogue, and an unapologetically violent style. The story plays like a modern opera of revenge and liberation, soaked in grit and swagger, with a soundtrack that breaks all the rules and makes it work. Yeah, I don't think I can follow that. That was a mic drop from AI. Number 24, Inception, 8.8 IMDb. Dom Cobb, Leo, is a thief with the rare ability to enter people's dreams and steal their secrets from their subconscious. His skills made him a hot commodity in the world of corporate espionage, but has also cost him everything he loves. Cobb gets a chance at redemption when he is offered a seemingly impossible task. Plant an idea in someone's mind. If he succeeds, it will be the perfect crime, but a dangerous enemy anticipates Cobb's every move. This is obviously an incredibly original movie. I have not seen this since it was at the movie theaters, and I'm worried I don't have this rated high enough. Number 23, Reservoir Dogs, 8.3 IMDb. 6 criminals with pseudonyms and each strangers to one another are hired to carry out a robbery. The heist is ambushed by police and the gang are forced to shoot their way out. At their warehouse rendezvous, the survivors, realizing that they were set up, try to find the traitor in their midst. 2 words, Quentin Tarantino. Number 22, The Godfather, 9.2 IMDb. This mob drama focuses on the powerful Italian-American crime family of Don Corleone. When the Don's youngest son, Michael, reluctantly joins the mafia, he becomes involved in the inevitable cycle of violence and betrayal. Although Michael tries to maintain a normal relationship with his wife Kay, he is drawn deeper into the family business. So the movies have Marlon Brando, who's unbelievable, Al Pacino, James Caan. The second one has about an hour of Robert De Niro. Of course, got to also mention Robert Duvall. It's about 9 hours of runtime. They're kind of slow movies. They're really good. But the Godfather movies are slightly, barely, a little bit overrated, but they're really good still. Number 21, Edge of Tomorrow, 7.9 IMDb. When Earth falls under attack from invincible aliens, no military unit in the world is able to beat them. Major William Cage, Tom Cruise, an officer who has never seen combat, is assigned to a suicide mission. Killed within moments, Cage finds himself thrown into a time loop in which he relives the same brutal fight and his death over and over again. However, Cage's fighting skills improve with each encore, bringing him a comrade, Emily Blunt, ever closer to defeating the aliens. I mean, the movie, it's a simple sci-fi concept, but it had a huge budget. The quality of the movie is just incredible. Number 20, The Northman, 7.0 IMDb. If you could see the look on my face right now, like, bro, really? 7.0 IMDb on this movie? Come on. The Northman is a brutal, mythic, and visually striking Viking revenge saga rooted in Norse legend, specifically the tale that inspired Hamlet. Set in the early 10th century, the film follows a young prince whose life is violently upended, sending him on a lifelong journey driven by fate, vengeance, and destiny. The story is primal and archetypal, but told through Egger's meticulous lens with a heavy emphasis on historical authenticity, pagan ritual, and Norse cosmology. It's not your typical action movie, though it has visceral combat and striking visuals. It blends grounded realism with surreal, hallucinatory moments, making it feel like a saga brought to life from both myth and mud. Okie dokie, that's AI. 2 times mic drop from AI. Number 19, Terminator 2, 8.6 IMDb. In this sequel set 11 years after the Terminator, young John Connor, the key to civilization's victory over a future robot uprising, is the target of the shape-shifting T-1000, a Terminator sent from the future to kill him. Another Terminator, the revamped T-800, has been sent back to protect the boy. As John and his mother go on the run with the T-800, the boy forms an unexpected bond with the robot. Obviously, Schwarzenegger makes the first 2 Terminators unbelievable, and they're not overly complex. But the timeline can get pretty complex. I mean, especially with the 5th movie. The 3rd Terminator is pretty dang underrated. The 4th one is okay, and the 5th one is just completely bizarre. Number 18, Braveheart, 8.3 IMDb. Braveheart won 5 Academy Awards: Best Picture, Best Director, Best Cinematography, Best Makeup, Best Sound Effects Editing, and Mel Gibson in this movie just sends it into the stratosphere. Number 17, No Country for Old Men, 8.2 IMDb. While out hunting, Lou Ellen Moss finds the grisly aftermath of a drug deal. Though he knows better, he cannot resist the cast left behind and takes it with him. The hunter becomes hunted when a merciless killer named Shigor picks up his trail, also looking for Moss's Sheriff Bell, an aging lawman who reflects on a changing world and a dark secret of his own, as he tries to find and protect Moss. Remember how I said the cast on The Big Lebowski is what put that movie over the top? I would say the same thing here. Josh Brolin, I almost said Anton Chigurh. That's how good he was. Javier Bardem, Woody Harrelson, Tommy Lee Jones. Number 16, Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, 7.6 IMDb. Star Wars is a sprawling science fiction saga set in a distant galaxy where advanced technology like space travel and droids robots coexist with mystical forces and ancient traditions. The series centers on the battle between good and evil, often framed as a struggle between freedom and tyranny. It explores heroic journeys. Characters from humble beginnings are drawn into larger cosmic conflicts. Epic battles. The story includes grand wars, political intrigue, and dramatic lightsaber duels. A mysterious energy force. There's a spiritual dimension to the universe involving an unseen energy that connects all living things. Rich world building. Multiple planets, alien species, and cultures are brought to life in vivid detail. So as you can see, the Star Wars movies have everything. The reason why I picked Star Wars Episode 3, I think it should be obvious. We had to wait 22 years to see why Darth Vader was the way he was. And it was like surreal to watch that movie. It was like, wow, okay. We see what Anakin's about, you know? Number 15, Fight Club, 8.8 IMDb. Fight Club is a psychological drama about a disillusioned man stuck in a monotonous, materialistic life. Struggling with insomnia and a sense of meaninglessness, he forms an unexpected bond with a mysterious stranger. Together they create an underground group where men gather to fight, not for violence's sake, but as a way to reclaim a raw, authentic experience in a world they feel disconnected from. I don't want to give anything away, just have one thing to say. The first rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club. The second rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club. At number 14, The Dark Knight Rises, 8.4 IMDb. A young Bruce Wayne, Christian Bale, travels to the Far East where he's trained in the martial arts by Henry Deckard, Liam Neeson, a member of the mysterious League of Shadows. When Deckard reveals the League's true purpose, the complete destruction of Gotham City, Wayne returns to Gotham intent on cleaning up the city without resorting to murder. With the help of Alfred Michael Caine, his loyal butler, and Lucius Fox, Morgan Freeman, a tech expert at Wayne Enterprises, Batman is born. Before watching this series a few years ago, I was skeptical with them being superhero movies. Nolan is the difference with these superhero movies. Incredible cast, no over-the-top CGI, more of a serious mood. I'm a little worried I ranked this too high, but all three Batman movies and the Joker are all really good. That has to count for something. Number 13, Interstellar, 8.7 IMDb. In the future, a global crop blight and second dust bowl are slowly rendering Earth uninhabitable. Professor Brand, Michael Caine, a brilliant NASA physicist, is working on plans to save mankind by transporting Earth's population to a new home via a wormhole. But first, Brand must send former NASA pilot Cooper, Matthew McConaughey, and a team of researchers through the wormhole and across the galaxy to find out which of three planets could be mankind's new home. Interstellar tackles big ideas, time dilation, survival of humanity, and unknown vastness of space while also exploring hope and perseverance. It's a sci-fi film that's thoughtful and philosophical without being too abstract. I don't want to give anything away, but I would agree that what AI said, that the balance on this movie is perfect in terms of not getting too abstract. Number 12, Gladiator, 8.5 IMDb. Gladiator is about a respected military leader who finds himself caught in a dangerous struggle for power and survival. As he navigates a world filled with betrayal and shifting loyalties, he must rely on his courage and skills to face overwhelming odds. The film explores themes of honor, family, and destiny, all set against the backdrop of a grand and brutal empire. Ridley Scott doing Ridley Scott things, Russell Crowe doing Russell Crowe things. Number 11, Saving Private Ryan, 8.6 IMDb. Captain John Miller, Tom Hanks, takes his men behind enemy lines to find Private James Ryan, whose three brothers have been killed in combat. Surrounded by the brutal realities of war, while searching for Ryan, each man embarks upon a personal journey and discovers their own strength to triumph over an uncertain future with honor, decency, and courage. Spielberg uses washed-out cinematography, and which obviously works, but beyond that, I can't put into words how Spielberg put together this movie. Obviously incredible. In my opinion, the best war movie ever still. Okay, top 10 here. Number 10, Good Will Hunting, 8.3 IMDb. Will Hunting, Matt Damon, has a genius-level IQ, but chooses to work as a janitor at MIT. When he solves a difficult graduate-level math problem, his talents are discovered by Professor Gerald Lambeau, who decides to help the misguided youth reach his potential. When Will is arrested for attacking a police officer, Professor Lambeau makes a deal to get leniency for him if he will get treatment from therapist Sean McGuire, Robin Williams. I don't want to give anything away, you just got to watch the movie, but it's pretty cool that Matt Damon and Ben Affleck directed this. Number 9, The Matrix, 8.7 IMDb. The Matrix follows a man living a routine, disconnected life who begins to suspect that there's something fundamentally wrong with the world around him. He's drawn into a hidden reality by a group of mysterious rebels who offer him a choice: stay in his familiar but false world or risk everything to uncover the truth. The film dives deep into questions like, what is reality? How much of our world is constructed or controlled? What does it mean to be free or truly alive? It's a mix of sci-fi, action, and philosophy, wrapped in a sleek cyberpunk style. Think mind-bending visuals, iconic fight scenes, and a moody, tech-drenched atmosphere. You take the blue pill. The story ends, you wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more. Number 8, Shawshank Redemption, 9.3 IMDb. The Shawshank Redemption is a powerful drama about a man sentenced to life in prison and how he endures the passage of time behind bars. It's not just about prison life, it's about friendship, quiet determination, and finding meaning and hope in the bleakest of places. Rather than focusing on action or escape, it dives deep into the human spirit, showing how someone can hold onto dignity and purpose even in a place designed to strip both away. I can't say anything more, don't want to give anything away, but pretty much everybody loves this movie. Number 7, Rocky Balboa, baby, 8.1 IMDb. Rocky Balboa, Sylvester Stallone, a small-time boxer from working-class Philadelphia, is arbitrarily chosen to take on the reigning world heavyweight champion Apollo Creed, Carl Weathers, when the undefeated fighter's scheduled opponent is injured. While training with feisty former bantamweight contender Mickey Goldmill, Rocky tentatively begins a relationship with Adrian, the wallflower sister of his meatpacker pal Paulie. Check this out. Stallone essentially bet on himself by insisting on starring in the movie Rocky despite studio offers to buy the script for a significant sum and cast a more established actor. He was broke and sold his dog to make ends meet and was nearly homeless but refused to compromise on his vision. The studio eventually agreed to let him star, and the movie became a massive success, launching his career. Okay, so that's just for starters. Then Bill Conti does the score, which is incredible. And then what are we doing here? Okay, Rocky 1, 8.1. Okay, I guess. Should be higher. Rocky 2, 7.3? What are we doing? Rocky 3, I don't remember it too well. It's probably the worst one. I don't know. I think it was 6.9. Okay. Rocky 4, 6.9. Really? Rocky 5 wasn't bad. 5.4 IMDb. Like, what are we doing, people? Number 6, Gangs of New York, 7.5 IMDb. You know what? I think Birdman at a 7.7 was a better movie than Gangs of New York. Gangs of New York is a gritty historical drama set in the mid-1800s in New York City, particularly in a turbulent area known as the Five Points. The film explores the intense cultural and political clashes between immigrant communities and native-born Americans during a time of rapid change and rising tension. It's about identity, loyalty, revenge, and survival in a city that's still being shaped, often violently, into what it will eventually become. All from memory right here. Citizens of the 5 Points, Mr. Bill Cunning is attempting to draw me into an argument that would no doubt end in bloodshed and the compromising of my office. What say you? Shall I silence this relic of the ancient law and be your chosen voice in a new testament in a new world? There you go, Bill. The people have spoken. Any notion of violent reprisal benumbs them. Number 5, ladies and gentlemen, The Prestige, 8.5 IMDb. Period thriller set in Edwardian London where two rival magicians, partners until the tragic death of an assistant during a show, feud bitterly after one of them performs the ultimate magic trick, teleportation. His rival tries desperately to uncover the secret of his routine, experimenting with dangerous new science as his quest takes him to the brink of insanity and jeopardizes the lives of everyone around the pair. This movie is ridiculous, straight up. It's not just a rivalry between Angier and Borden, there's also a rivalry between Tesla and Edison. Number 4, ladies and gentlemen, The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, 8.9 IMDb. The future of civilization rests in the fate of the One Ring, which has been lost for centuries. Powerful forces are unrelenting in their search for it. But fate has placed it in the hands of a young hobbit named Frodo Baggins, who inherits the ring and steps into legend. A daunting task lies ahead for Frodo when he becomes the ring bearer, to destroy the One Ring in the fires of Mount Doom, where it was forged. 6 incredible movies, the Lord of the Rings movies and the Hobbit movies, over 17 hours runtime. The cinematography of New Zealand is incredible, and all 6 movies take stuff from the author J.R.R. Tolkien, who was a boss. At number 3, ladies and gentlemen, Blade Runner 2049, 8.0 IMDb. The Blade Runner movies are slow-burning sci-fi thrillers set in a bleak futuristic world. They focus on a special kind of detective called a Blade Runner whose job is to track down artificial beings called replicants. Replicants are human-like creations made to serve in tough or dangerous roles. Blade Runners are agents who retire replicants that go rogue. The line between human and machine is blurry, and that's intentional. It's not about fast-paced action. The films are moody, philosophical, and emotionally heavy. The first Blade Runner is actually higher at an 8.1 IMDb, but both Blade Runners are incredible. Let me say that slow for you. But the second one's better. But I don't think I have the words to explain like how good that movie is. I don't. At number 2, ladies and gentlemen, not a huge surprise, Pulp Fiction, 8.8 IMDb. Vincent Vega, John Travolta, and Jules Winfield, Samuel L. Jackson are hitmen with a penchant for philosophical discussions. In this ultra-hip, multi-strand crime movie, their storyline is interwoven with those of their boss, gangster Marcellus Wallace, his actress wife Mia, struggling boxer Butch Coolidge, master fixer Winston Wolfe, and a nervous pair of armed robbers Pumpkin and Honey Bunny. I'll just sound stupid trying to explain why this is such a good movie. Just gonna say it again like I did on Reservoir Dogs. 2 words: Quentin Tarantino. At number 1, ladies and gentlemen, drum roll please. There Will Be Blood, 8.2 IMDb. There Will Be Blood is a dark, dramatic film about a man chasing success during the early days of the oil industry in America. It's not a typical action-packed story. Instead, it focuses deeply on one man's relentless drive for power, wealth, and control. I don't want to talk about those things. I see the worst in people, Henry. I don't need to look past seeing them to get all I need. I'm finished.